Good morning and welcome to this week's show. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I got my daily dose of Mountain Dew, so I'm doing just fine.
I'm Fred Arnold, and you're not. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, all right. We got the Jag going. So.
Well, the one story that I've noticed that's taken the sports world by storm this week is the story of the 6'5", 400-pound high schooler. What do you mean?
No, it hasn't.
You haven't heard about this?
No.
It's from a Native American high school.
Can you say Native American?
I think that's about the most PCs you can get, isn't it?
Okay. All right.
From a high school in Washington State, I believe. And he's 6'5", 400 pounds, and he's playing running back. They put him in at running back. And so far, he's totaled like 700 yards and 15 touchdowns. And
Is this a high school kid?
yeah, senior. Okay. I think he's a senior. His name's Tony Picard, and his nickname is Big Tone.
Big Tone.
And there's a YouTube highlight film of him out there. And if you get a chance, you ought to watch it. It's quite interesting.
Is this kid good, or is he just big?
I think most of it to do with just his size. He said he started out playing on the line, and then they noticed how quick he was, and so they tried him at running back, and lo and behold, not many high schoolers are going to be able to bring down somebody at 6'5", 400 pounds.
You know, you don't have to be better than the other guy. You just have to be bigger.
A lot of the time, yeah.
One of those things you don't know about me was when I was a senior in college, I was a football coach for Kearney Catholic High School.
Were you really?
I was, yes. And I was in charge of the junior high squad. And we had a kid who, well, most junior high kids are 5 foot nothing, 65 pounds of nothing.
Yeah.
And this kid was, he was about 6'2", and he was about 165 or 170 pounds.
So well and above the other kids.
Oh yeah, in high school he would have been a guard. That was his natural calling, was a guard. But we made him an I-back. And he wasn't better than everybody else, he was just bigger than everybody else, which made him better.
Made him hard to take down.
Yeah, and I assume that's kind of similar to the situation you're
That's
talking
pretty much
about.
what it is, yeah. I mean,
Big Tone.
Big Tone.
So, is he being heavily recruited now?
Not that I've heard of. At least
How
not,
about Mountain Dew today, folks?
at least not by anybody I've heard of.
Okay. How many yards does he have?
700 going into last weekend, I think. And obviously, their football season must run differently than us here in the Midwest, because ours is pretty well done.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. So what else you got on the agenda today?
Oh, college basketball and the NBA have started.
The Huskers are 3-0
I see that.
as of today. They've only got to win 17 more games, and they're eligible for the NCAA tournament.
You know, it seems like they always start out really strong until they get into conference play, and then they just shoot down.
Not this year.
I think with Tim Miles, give him a couple more years, I think we'll have a pretty good team.
I think Nebraska actually will develop well.
Especially with the new arena and stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're pretty happy with where they're starting off. So.
Yeah, and the women's team is ranked 11th. They're undefeated too.
They're always good. They're historically good.
And I had heard that this incoming recruiting class is the best ever they've had.
For the women?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Outstanding.
And supposedly, I think they're going to retire Kelsey Griffin's number sometime this season too.
I did hear that. What did you say they're rated?
11th right now.
11th. Okay, that's big. Yay for Nebraska basketball all the way around.
Yeah.
The game is in like 10 minutes. I need my Jeff Spirit wear now.
We got you covered, ma'am.
Here you go, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That was so fast.
MSA, we do everything fast.
Oh, great. Bye. Bye.
I was thinking about generational differences. I mean, you're a generation younger than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we kind of like the same sports and we kind of like the same teams. And I was thinking about favorite athletes.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, what favorite athletes I had per sport for my generation versus, you know, what your favorite athletes of the same sport might be of your generation. I'm going to go list by sport what my favorite athlete
Okay.
was, and then see what yours was.
All right.
Okay, football. For football, my favorite athlete was Lynn Dickey,
Oh yeah.
quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. Yours?
Mine would be, well, ironically the same position, but different player. Far before his whole not retirement, trade me debacle.
So you were a Brett Favre guy.
Mhm.
Okay, I was a Lynn Dickey guy. Loved Lynn Dickey. He was great. He was awesome. In baseball, mine was Rusty Staub, first baseman for the Mets, first draft choice of the Montreal Expos. He ended his career as a designated hitter with the Mets. He was kind of this big, fat, red-headed guy.
I remember you told me.
Oh yeah, Rusty Staub was great. He couldn't really play anymore, but he could pinch hit. Loved Rusty Staub. What was your favorite baseball?
Mine was Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr.
And a lot of that had to do with the fact that he was pretty much the only big name baseball player at that time that was left-handed.
Okay.
So I looked up to him a lot.
Okay. NBA, mine was Larry Bird.
Mine was Shaquille O'Neal.
You're a Shaq guy.
Mm-hmm. My wife hates him, but I love him.
You know, I like Larry Bird. Big, tall, awkward, white guy. Couldn't really run that well, but he could hit lights out.
There really hasn't been anybody like him since, really.
No. Golf, Arnold Palmer. Huge Arnie's Army guy.
You drink Arnold Palmer's too? The half tea, half lemonade?
I do.
Do you?
I love the Arnold Palmer drink. Absolutely, half and half.
Did you ever see the ESPN Sports Center commercial with him in it?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty good. Let's check it out.
Can I YouTube it or what?
Mm-hmm.
Arnold Palmer was great. Golfer for you?
Got to be Tiger Woods.
Okay.
Again, before he went all nutso. And
I was gonna jump in there with hockey, but then I decided who cares? I've never had a favorite hockey player. I've never watched a hockey game, so on my list, my favorite player is who cares? Do you have?
I never really had a favorite player, but when I was growing up, I followed the Colorado Avalanche pretty closely.
Okay. I couldn't even tell you the name of any hockey teams. I could probably think of it and come up with it. The hockey fans are going to hate me now.
All two of them.
Both of them here, yes. NASCAR, and I consider NASCAR drivers athletes. I think you have to be athletic to a great degree to do that. My guy was Richard Petty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, had over 200 wins.
Mm-hmm.
7-time NASCAR champion. Used to drive a 1970 Plymouth Superbird with a big spoiler on the back. Richard Petty was awesome.
I know Jimmy Johnson just finished with his 6th championship this past weekend.
And that's one of those things that I wanted to point out. Only Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt have fewer NASCAR champions than Richard Petty. They're both 6.
Both at 6.
Yeah. Jimmy Johnson, there was an article earlier this week that had him, best NASCAR driver ever, ?
Mm-hmm.
I do know that he has been named the first athlete to host a Sports Center program.
I didn't know he did.
Well, he hasn't
Oh,
yet,
he hasn't?
but yet he's gonna host Sports Center. He is the very first athlete chosen to host.
That really kind of surprises me. They never had an athlete do that before.
No,
Especially with all the former athletes they have on there as
Yeah.
analysts and stuff.
yeah,
Oh, that's
and
very cool.
it's gonna be a NASCAR driver. Did you have a NASCAR? Were you a NASCAR guy?
Jeff Gordon.
Okay, well, see, this is my point for the whole segment here. That every generation has their own set of athletes and guys that they followed, and you're kind of my son's generation now. I know he's a huge Tiger guy, and he can rip off. He's a big Aaron Rodgers fan. That's his favorite quarterback, and baseball players, basketball players. He's got his own version. But yeah, every generation has their own set of people that they really like to follow, and I guess.
Well, honestly, I'd like to just say congratulations to all the area schools and their fall sports, and wish all of them a good luck in the winter sports.
Yes, winter sports, boys and girls basketball, wrestling is getting ready to kick off. Probably, I hate to jinx it, I hate to favor one team over another, but the Fairbury High School girls basketball team, they're expecting really big things from from them this year.
Well, hopefully they can live
I
up
think
to
they'll
that.
come in rated early on in the state. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So good luck to all the area teams. Thank you.
Thank you, Mountain Dew.
Yes, thank you, Mountain Dew.